Pushed away always, not sometimes, becomes a leader. How many of you knew that? The little kid that gets hand-down clothing. Says, Mommy, I want new clothing. I don't want Bobby's suit. When he gets a job, he never wears second-hand clothing. Your environment shapes your values. If you don't understand what that means. So they believe at one time, maybe a Japanese baby would learn to speak Japanese faster than an English baby if you brought them both to Japan. And they tried it, and they both learned at the same rate. You cannot pass on inherited, learned experiences. Bigotry, prejudice is learned. Don't play with that little Greek boy. You're not a Greek. You don't want to associate with that girl. She's not your fate, your nationality. So your parents are constantly programming you, your elders, to an old world that they knew of. If you take your grandmother to Miami Beach and she sees the girls walking around, their butts hanging out, they've gone too far, and she'd be right where she's coming from. But she's not right. There's no right, no wrong. There's no good or bad people. There are people brought up with different values. Like if you're brought up in Sicily and a guy looks at your sister with sexual intent, you whack him. Because if you brought him in, if you catch your wife in bed with another guy in Latin America, you can shoot them both. Or you can shoot your wife or the guy. And the judge in that country can understand that. But in a sane society, would you say, honey, how much longer are you going to be? And then you say, where is it that I'm not meeting your needs? Do you understand? People don't talk like that. They don't even think like that. You see, will you let that guy say that? When I was a kid, all movies, there were no problem solvers. There were two guns the guy pulled out, and he solved his problems right away by shooting those he didn't agree with. So you see, the movies you see is the same old soap opera over and over again, different characters with the same, it's who's fucking who. That's what it's about. But they're having an affair, so they can't use that language. You can't just have to go to the toilet. I go to the restroom. There's no place to rest in any restroom. So the world you live in is really artificial as hell. Now even the word love, I said before, sometimes you love a person, sometimes you don't, sometimes you like yourself. So love is a fluctuating thing. So if you marry a guy because he's great, and you find out certain things you don't like about him, you scratch your head, do I really love him or not? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Depends on what he does. So you see the same for women, but if you believe in romantic love all your life, the guy's going to be wonderful. The guy with the golden hair, the guy that rides a white horse. You get that from movies. The movies are really concerned with one thing, profit. They don't give a damn. They don't make movies that are against war. It wouldn't serve their interest. Do you understand? If they make one movie against war, they'll make 500 pro-war. There's more money. So you live in a world that's based on the monetary system. And that's why you can't have justice. So when people say to me, will you talk about sustainability? I can't talk about it because it has different meanings for different people. The only kind of sustainability that I know of is one world. It will bring all the nations together. Those of you that don't quite understand that, the cost of World War II, I'm talking about flattening out Germany, England was bombed flat. I mean, all of those costs, knocking out the museums, veterans' payments after the war, could have housed everybody on earth, could have built hospitals all over the world, and give every research lab whatever the hell they needed. What a waste, what a form of stupidity. 400 ships on the bottom of the sea, loaded with copper, brass, tungsten, all these valuable things sunken. We won the war. We lost a lot of resources and human beings for no reason at all. We keep going to war. It never seems to stop. Why is that? Because there's a lot of profit in war. When you own a factory that makes airplanes, you make a lot of money. That's why I said, in times of war, if there was total conscription of men, machines, and they told you to buy war bonds, that'll bring Johnny home faster. Well, if money and your bonds bring Johnny home faster, why not conscript all the money of all the banks and bring Johnny home faster? Because there's no profit in it. So you see, the world you live in is unsustainable. It's going to run into jams all over the world, continuously. Now, bankers like to lend you money at interest. When you put your money in a bank, they lend it out. And if a person borrows money from the bank, they add the interest, and that's their potential of finances. And they can get money from the government printing office for 3 cents on the dollar. Before World War II, we told American industry, expand. And they said, hell no, what are we going to do with a big plant after the war? So they taxed the American people, their money, to expand all the war plants. Then gave it to them for 3 cents on the dollar. The American public really got shafted. They're not allowed to use that symbol. But they don't even know they're shafted. They think somehow government money is used. They don't know that government money is your money. And the government lives on your money. But they try to condition you to think they're great politicians. Well, that's part of the crime. So that's why I say we won't make the history books in the future. The people of the future will be so different. The children will never be given books like Cinderella or Dickie Deer and the Sheep. On the way I met a cow, the cow said moo moo. Then I met a sheep, it said ba ba. Well, let's fill the kid's head with that kind of crap. What do you expect? Then you fill them with religion. God loves you. Then when a hurricane comes, it doesn't go over the church, it blows the church away too. And if the bus full of nuns, it doesn't go over or around that bus, it blows that bus away. It's the will of Allah. Or it's God's will, depending on the way you're brought up. If I design the bridge and it caves in, it's the will of Allah. It's your math that's off, buddy. And you can't get away with that kind of religious crap. Or the Lord acts in strange ways. If I say the bridge acts in strange ways, I can't get away with that. So science is not perfect. It's just closer approximations of reality. That's all. When he says, I talk to God, there are a lot of people that think God talks to them. Or they talk to God. They can't even talk to Einstein. They can't even talk to a lawyer or a doctor about medical. How are they going to talk to God? Just imagine, I'm not Arthur C. Clarke, but I'm just saying, there are many scientists that believe that someday extraterrestrials will come here. Anything that can fly 100 billion light years through space is not like us. And they don't want to see you president. The jackass of all jackasses. They don't want to hear your little stories. They'd be very different than anybody you know. So you see, they have nothing. In other words, if they came from another planet, what they would do is give us the answers to a lot of problems, rather than come to take over. A lot of people believe in flying saucers. I know you don't know this, but I was hired by the publishers of the first book on flying saucers to look at the photographs of people who took a flying saucer. So far, all of those pictures were fake. I can tell by the size of the disc in relation to the trees. They were few inches in diameter. And the one that you see on the covers of most magazines with the 3 spheres underneath it, tilted, and portholes, is a 1927 Sears and Roebuck chicken brooder. So people that believe in flying saucers think that people are coming here from another world to show us the way. Or God will send his angels down if we behave badly. Well, the whole concept of God is a fictitious structure. Now, the right-hand of man of God was named Lucifer. And God said, try to better yourself. So Lucifer wanted God's throne. So God got angry and he kicked all those angels out. They're called the falling angels. If God didn't know that his son would be crucified, he's one of the lesser gods. So, you see, your God isn't even smart. The kind of God men made and worship are as dumb as they are. He gets angry, creates floods, disease, bubonic plague, because people don't believe. He made them. What the hell do you expect? So here you have these contradictory stories. And then you have constant romance on television. Romantic novels that people are constantly looking for.